We used online sharing platforms like Miro, where groups of students can interact on a single document. They can put notes or questions for others and directly manipulate the document simultaneously. I think this completely triggers their will to interact. We observe that we get more active participation with the group online sharing platforms.
Actually, I am mostly using motivation videos. This is the base. And then later, after watching the motivation videos, brainstorming is my popular methods, one of the methods. And when we come to a conclusion, or when we come to a situation that we couldn't solve the problems, or when it is not the understand the reason, the real reason, I am using the 5 whys.
Usually use the communication techniques and problem solving techniques, in fact. And I, for example, I also use some successful techniques like, for example, the 6-hat techniques. I think the most important and the most successful ones are group working techniques. And it helps us, the engineering students, to also have fun and motivation in order to create something together with their teammates, their colleagues. So that is great success for us.
So we used Adobe Connect, and what we were trying to, if you like, simulate in that is really that brainstorming method. Now, what I do find, if you're using a brainstorming method, when we're face to face, I always got our students that they wrote their idea, for example, on a post-it. Once we discussed the problem or what we were looking for, they went around and they explained what they were doing. At that particular point, they're not allowed to comment on anybody else's idea. They just have to listen. And what we used to get them to do was ball it up, the post-it, and physically just throw it behind them. It was kind of a physical action to say, let go of the idea. And also they were listening to each other while they were, they'd be reading out the post, but they'd be listening to everybody else read out theirs as well. And then we give them fresh post-its and we ask them, okay, now that you've heard everybody else's viewpoint, write down another idea as how you think this could be solved. And you started to get kind of more of a convergence of how to solve this problem. And they were listening unbiasedly to each other's ideas. So that really helps. Now, when you're doing that online, it is a little bit more difficult. But the way that we did it, we used kind of the whiteboards where they had to put up their post-it, if you like, their virtual post-it on what it is. But then we would blank it, we would clear it, and we'd say, now that you've heard everybody's and you see them, let's do a fresh start again. And, kind of see, can we have a go at this again? It's good, but it's time consuming. That would be the only thing. And it takes a little bit of setup by the lecturer beforehand, rather than just walking in with a pack of post-its and handing them out. You do have to structure it that little bit more if you're doing it online.
We use a design thinking approach, and I think if you're looking at the creativity methods that we use to make it successful, they're all largely curated through Mural. And they are the typical, I suppose, creativity methods that we will see. So we use storyboarding, and we get our students and our participants to use storyboarding. We use a lot of reframing and persona development. So in any of the projects that we're involved in, we try and lead with not just a challenge, but a persona who's experiencing the challenge that we're trying to solve. We get students and participants to do a lot of reframing and mind mapping as they go through the process. And then I suppose the other one that we'd kind of introduce creativity methods in, we use a lot of brainstorming. And it really is around kind of threading through those methods through every workshop that we run. So that they're building creative muscle, if you like, that, every session is based on both the content delivery. Then there is a facilitated breakout where there's some self-directed learnings that result in them completing templates or a certain threshold of whatever that session is focused on. But they're very much, we do a little bit and then it's over to the team to really develop out the balance of the session and then report back to make sure that it isn't just about theory. Creativity is about the practice of. So a lot of what we do is focused on you know, actually get your hands on, get your heads in, and that's where the magic happens.
Also jetzt im Konkreten in dieser Situation waren es, wie gesagt, Design Thinking Methoden. Da gibt es ja überaus viele, da gibt es ja diese Canvases, die man anwenden kann, und ich kann mich ganz gut erinnern, dass jetzt explizit das Empathy Map Canvas, wo man so einen Bezug zu dem Kunden hat sozusagen, dass das gut gelaufen ist. Das Team Charter Canvas, weil das sehr stark eben immer auf die Motivation des Teams eingeht und die Werte, die man quasi als Team auch irgendwie in einem Projekt hat. Und ansonsten habe ich auch schon mal Design-Sprints angewandt, die ich ganz gut
finde. Also unsere Studis arbeiten ja gern mit Miro, mit diesen Miro-Boards, und haben damit sehr gute Erfahrungen. Ich selber setze gern Padlet ein, weil man da auch Sachen gut strukturieren kann. Das machen unsere Seminarteilnehmer. Also sicherlich verbreitet ist das Brainstorming, das ist ja die bekannteste und einfachste Methode, die ist sehr effektiv. Oder auch das Brainwriting, oder dass man gemeinsam mit Padlet oder mit einem Mindmap-Programm Ideen zusammenträgt und sammelt. Diese Methoden sind ziemlich verbreitet, weil sie einfach auch so einfach sind. Von daher ist das sicher eine ganz gute Ausgangsbasis. Aber darüber hinaus gibt es eben noch andere, die sehr effektiv sein können. Zum Beispiel auch die Disney-Methode, die mit verschiedenen Räumen arbeitet, wo die Räume inspirieren, strukturieren, Möglichkeiten bieten, als Gruppe zusammenzuarbeiten. Sowas wünsche ich mir für unsere Hochschule, dass wir sowas haben. So 3 Räume, in die ich dann nach und nach einander gehen kann, wo ich dann in verschiedenen emotionalen Zuständen bin.